Alright, so we're going to start up our solo cast of Wyatt's practice game, given that it's just me this time around. Probably going to be a little bit less of the joking around, making fun of everyone for their misplays, and I'm going to try and, well, I'll still probably do that. There's going to be a lot of misplays, there always are. But we're going to maybe see if we can get a little bit more analytical, think a little bit about some of the macro plays that the team could have been making. One of the things we can start out with is looking at the team composition. Obviously, we're mostly interested in Wyatt's team. I do like, in general, protecting AD carries with a triple threat comp. So, yes, they can dive on Kog'Maw, potentially, but you also have Kale, who at a certain point in the game is going to be a big threat, and Gangplank, who in theory should be a big threat as well. They also, with the Ornn and the Alistar, they do actually have a fair amount of peel. Plus the Kale ult can go on to whichever carry is getting focused. Probably you won't want to do it on the Gangplank. Gangplank should probably be looking to pick up a Trinity Force into something more like a Sterix Gauge. They really don't need that much more damage beyond what the Kog'Maw, Kale, and Gangplank with a little bit of damage is going to be offering. Looking at the other side, well, we got a Teemo AD carry and a Bard support. That's going to be quite the aggressive lane. We'll see if they can snowball that out of control. My guess is that they will not be able to, and as such, this is just going to be a waste of time. Lux mid, can get some poke, might be a little annoying, but not going to be adding too much. This seems like a really bad fight from the Gangplank, as he dies, not understanding that his minion wave, much smaller than her minion wave, and that means that she has more experience than him. Hits that level 2, that's a pretty easy kill. He has the Ignite, she has the barrier, so looking to play that a little bit more defensively, but still gets the kill. Let's see. The possibility of getting a co-commentator, gotta look into that real quick. Lux solo kill GP mid. Enemy team has a Teemo ADC. I do like Wyatt's comp. Alright. So, looking back into the game, looking at the jungle, we got junglers pretty equal in CS, but importantly, Kha'Zix is going to be able to get a pretty easy gank off here. Ragus saving flash, that's good. He was dead no matter what. Should have known, probably. Ornn got the bottom scuttle, which is nice. I would imagine that this should be a Kha'Zix favored matchup. Probably it doesn't get played that much because who plays Ornn jungle, but if Kha'Zix ever finds Ornn alone, it should be a relatively easy kill with the isolation damage on Q. So getting the bottom scuttle is nice, but you should probably imagine Kha'Zix is going to get the top scuttle. He's going to play around top side. This is actually a potential repeat gank. Kale did save flash, so probably going to be able to get out of it this time. Shen didn't get a back in at any point. I wasn't paying too close attention to the wave. Might have been able to back and TP in. This might actually just be a kill. Kale, did she flash in? What? Or must have flashed. Either way, that's just a free kill. You know Kha'Zix is probably still in the area, and just overextending that far seems a little greedy, especially once the minion wave had already been killed. You don't have the safety of that to help fight. But we've seen this top laner feed a lot and still hard carry the game, so that death doesn't necessarily mean too much. Mid lane, that's probably not going to be another kill, but you're generally not hoping for this. Gangplank is fine into a lot of matchups. Probably this isn't favored. Lux should be able to outpoke him a little bit, but I would imagine that Gangplank shouldn't have too hard a time, given that he can cleanse the binding. Ornn going in That's going to be a really good repeat gank from Kha'Zix. So far, I've liked what he's been doing. Good pressure top lane, going in with the repeat gank, then being where he needs to be mid lane. Looking for a potential dive bot, and they're quite low. They do have the ward to spot him out. I don't know if he'll go for it. They're pretty healthy. This should be doable. Kha'Zix doesn't have flash, so it's a little dangerous. They could probably kill Kog'Maw, but then Alistar might be able to set up a repeat kill. He's thinking about it. Mid lane's it's still farming. Alright, so it looks like he's still trying to get it to happen. Ornn's coming down. We'll see if they're going to be able to pick up a kill on Kha'Zix. He should just be able to jump out there. He does have the Blast Cone available. Didn't really lose too much. Got a little bit of pressure in. So far, most lanes are going well. Let's look at top lane. Behind in CS, not what you like to see. Kayle is investing in the double Dark Seal, which did get nerfed. This patch is a little bit more expensive. So really investing in the early game, but that's fine. Kayle kind of needs that. We'll be interested to see if she goes more for an AP or AD build. Let's see, how much gold is Shen sitting on? 400. Okay, so the CS disparity is really helping keep Kayle in. I would imagine that Shen should actually be able to get some better trades in, make better use of Grasp. Lux DCing is pretty unfortunate, given that she was winning mid lane very hard with the solo kill and Gangplank and being up quite a bit of CS. Bot lane, we see slightly behind in CS, which is a big win for the Kog'Maw lane. Teemo Bard not going to scale nearly as well as that Kog'Maw is going to. Hopefully the Lux will connect soon and we can have an actual game. Shen taking a good trade. Yep, this is what we'd like to see. Not sure why he was so afraid earlier, but this should be another kill potential. Let's look. Doesn't actually have the E was on a long cooldown, but it does force Kayle out of lane. We got a Lux back. That's good. That's what I like to see. Kha'Zix may be able to pick up a kill. It's just gonna hold the mid wave. But yeah, Shen really should just be, using that solo kill and assist advantage to pressure the Kayle a little bit more. Clearly, he can take some good trades, especially if he lands the taunt, gets the W going. Kha'Zix holding mid. This is just how far behind Gangplank was that Lux DC'd for a couple waves and is still very far ahead in CS. Gotta find the Ornn, stealing some chickens. Ornn should probably be able to get out of there. Looking for the turn-on kill on Kha'Zix. Is just barely going to die. That was good. Lux might be able to pick up the kill on Ornn. He's quite low, trying to get out of there. Gangplank's looking to set up some barrels. Lux is going in with the flash. Is going to get the kill on Ornn. Is she going to be able to pick up the kill on GP? It's a lot of damage, but she needs to wait on the cooldown. Doesn't have anything up. GP is going to be a lot better without the cooldown. That's a very nice barrier, though. And a nice Q. The E comes out. Lux secures the kill. Very nice play by her. DC'd for a little bit. It doesn't matter. Coming back into the game. Caring for the team. If they're going to win, it's probably going to be off the backs of Lux, but just continuing to kill Gangplank is going to be enough. She's going to have to convert that into some tower damage, into potentially a gank bot lane. Kayle coming down, looking to pick up some CS, cover the mid wave. Did look for a kill on Lux, but that wasn't going to happen. No summoners up for either party. Back towards bot lane. Bot lane is still in a very advantageous position, up a little bit on the Teemo. Teemo building for that Nashor's first. I'm not sure that I'm a big fan of that. If he's going for more of an on-hit build, I can sort of understand it, but I'd potentially like to see a Gunblade in that instance. We'll see what he ends up building. In extended trades at this point, Teemo with Nashor's and a Bard should still be able to kill a Kog'Maw with Bork relatively easily. We'll also have to see if the Shrooms end up getting hit at all. They do not have a sweeper. Do have some control wards though. That's a good pickup. Shen's getting some good playing top lane. We see an Ornn potentially looking for a gank. Shen does have a ward to cover that. He has flash up. This should be a pretty easy escape unless he goes on the Kayle with his E. Sees the Ornn eventually. Nice dodge on the ultimate. Should be able to get out of there. He's actually staying to trade a little bit just because he's that confident. Don't know if that flash was necessary. Might have been. Killed us a decent amount of damage, but he's going to get out of there. Kha'Zix is coming top. Going to look for the counter gank kill. Not sure if he's going to be able to find it. Shen is a little bit low. He should be able to jump over the wall. Shen needs to get out of there. They were too split up. We're going to be able to do that. It was essentially two 1v2s. Gangplank ult coming out top. Not sure that that's going to accomplish much. The flash in the knock-up, that seems a little questionable. Then the kill ult on the person, I guess he was tanking it, so that was somewhat understandable. It wasn't a great dive. Kha'Zix should be able to pick up this kill relatively easily, even though he was on quite low health. Still had smite as well if you needed a little bit of extra damage. Looking at bot lane, there was a trade on the carries. Almost a kill on Alistar. Bard's going to go for it. I don't know that he's going to be able to do that. Alistar almost running back into it. It is an execute. Apparently no one damaged him recently. So slightly favored for the Kog'Maw side, but relatively even. We'll see. It doesn't look like that was a breaking point. Had Teemo been able to pick up a Nashor's Tooth off that, he might have been able to then exploit that item advantage, but not quite at that power spike. So we'll have to wait to see if they can exploit the 1-2 item Teemo in killing the Cog. See if they can snowball from there. Looking back, the jungle is pretty even CS, which is interesting. We probably would expect to see Kha'Zix a little bit ahead just because Ornn is a tank, but tank junglers did get buffed, and the percentage-based damage on Ornn's W in an AoE can help with that. Kha'Zix also has been spending a lot of time ganking and has been quite successful in doing so. Top lane, we see Kayle still really dominant, even though she's 0-3, just really bullying the wave, not really having an issue building up that passive and then taking some trades. I'd like to see Shen potentially look to get some good trades in, as we can see now, going in on them, throwing that W down. It's really hard for Kayle to trade back into that. Does throw out the E, get some good damage in. It's relatively even, but Shen has some good regen. Bot lane, we see a fight. Kog'Maw's going to pick up the Bard, which is going to be quite nice for him, but he's going to die in the process. Lux making some plays, killing that Alistar. We see Kha'Zix going for the Dragon. It's a Cloud Drake, which isn't your favorite Drake. In fact, it's probably your least favorite Drake, but still going to be a good pickup. Teemo's going to get some good farm shoving down bot lane. Might be able to pick up a plate, but it's unlikely. He doesn't push that fast. Doesn't have the completed item. But we'll probably be able to deny some CS, which is good. This is all good for blue side. We're expecting them to be ahead, and indeed, if we look at the kills, they are quite ahead. Gold-wise, though, that's only translating into a roughly 2k gold lead, which for 13 minutes is still quite good, but we'd like to see it potentially snowball a lot harder than that. Red team is going to defend the blue buff. They're looking for an engage. That Ornn ult onto the Kha'Zix. He's going to flash out of there. Gangplank couldn't get the finish up damage. Team's going to throw down some shrooms to try and cover the retreat. They are pushing. They already have shrooms in the Tribush. Lux is coming down looking for a kill on that Alistar. He's getting really low. Might be able to finish that up. The auto does it. They're looking for the re-engage. Bard goes back in on the Gangplank. Teemo's going in. Does a fair amount of damage. Gangplank's very low. He might be finished off by the Bard with that Meep auto attack. Very nice. Lux also picks up a kill on the Ornn, and that's a triple kill for nothing for the blue team. Looking really dominant out here. Snowballing that gold lead, just like we're talking about. It's not going to end. Bard's going in for the Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw, you're not under tower. Lux and Teemo doing a ton of damage. Going to get that kill. Going to get some more turret plating. Might be able to get the first tower. Turret plates are fairly tanky, but they have 3 of them there. They're about to run out of minions, and it's going to be a while before the Alistar. If they stay around after the minion wave, they could probably get it, but it might just back off. They've gotten quite the advantage. If we look at the gold that they're sitting on, Lux is sitting on 2,000 gold. We got Kha'Zix on 2.5k. He's rolling in it. They really should make use of that gold advantage. Right now, the 6k or almost 6k gold, 6k gold advantage that they're sitting on, not really that big because they haven't got a chance to spend it, but they are going to pick up that first Tower Blood. Alistar is not able to get there, or he was, but he almost died in doing so. And that's going to be even more gold. Lux is now sitting at 2.6k. Teemo's got a fair amount. He's going to be able to finish up that Nashor's Tooth. Mid lane, we have a Bard and Kha'Zix gank on Gangplank. That's looking pretty pretty good. They're really just snowballing out of here. Kha'Zix, I don't think even had an opportunity to back. He didn't. He's sitting on 3k gold. He's going to back. He's going to be a big bug. Going to be able to one-shot pretty much everyone on their team. Looking at Kayle. Kayle's really what we're looking for in terms of carry ability. She's about to hit level 11. She's about to become a real champion. Then we'll see if, with proper positioning, she can potentially bully Shen with that range advantage, even though he does have a gold advantage, or he should. Yep. Even though his early game wasn't great, but he's brought it back. Kha'Zix has been doing a lot of work, really helping his team. Lux really, putting the team on her back. We see Ornn potentially going to get cut out here by the Bard, looking to maybe get some vision around the Rift Herald. That's going to be a magical portal they're getting in slow. Lux with a beautiful setup on the ultimate, going to be able to finish that off, and looks like they're going to be able to take that mid tower relatively easily. Only Gangplank's here. He's not going to be able to defend that. Hopefully he stays back, doesn't be a part of that. This is some good work grouping by the blue team. Going to pick up another tower. Might even be able to push that into 2. Bot lane's going to look to trade a tower. 1 for 2, that's not really what you're looking for. Kayle's coming down to potentially try and defend. My guess is that blue team's just going to take this and back off. That's what they should be doing. Could look to rotate top. That's another, just sort of free amount of gold. Kayle looking to mess with them a little bit. Really can't do much. Not even hitting level 11 yet. She's pretty close. We can see the experience. Going to pass that red buff over to Teemo. It's going to be a lot of burn. Going to get some good damage on Kayle, but she should be fine. Looking to re-engage with the Ornn ultimate. This is a relatively even fight. Lux is going to miss that binding. Red team's going to be able to back out. Kayle's looking pretty low. They are going to be able to get this tower for free. Top lane, if we look at Kog'Maw, he's just sitting on the Bork. Not with that 2-item spike that we see with the Bork Rageblade that we're really looking for him to put in some work. We'll see if they can defend this tower, though, nonetheless. Kayle does not have Gunblade yet. This is going to be a little bit of a difficult. The issue is Lux has a lot of damage, as we can see come out with the poke. Ornn looking to engage. It's probably a dead Ornn. His team really not following up there. A bit of a miscommunication there. It's not a great siege comp. You don't have an AD carry, you have a Teemo. But the amount of damage that Lux throws out and the threat for Kha'Zix of just one-shotting people, plus a little bit sloppy of a defend, means that you might be able to get this tower. Really greedy tower dive, just going for it. Kha'Zix is going to lose his life there, but they're going to pick up the kill on the Alistar. Shen's also just in there. Kog'Maw's doing a lot of damage. He's going to be able to pick up that kill, potentially. No, flashes out, just gets the shield, just barely lives. That's got to be a tilter. Shouldn't have been there, but burns the flash and somehow manages to stay alive. Team was looking for a sneaky little assassination kill, but really they should all just get out of there. Probably sitting on some good gold. Gangplank actually just walks into them, not expecting them to be sitting there waiting for the ambush. It's a little weird that they were, but nonetheless, it's going to get killed for it. I wonder if there's not really a reason to be there. Teemo has red buff, so red buff isn't there. Unless you're planning on walking to go take chickens for some reason, there's really not a reason to just face check there. Blue team's going to be able to reset. I'm just going to pick up his blue buff. Could be passing that over to Gangplank, but you're a little bit worried that Kha'Zix is just going to come and steal it. Kha'Zix is going to take an opportunity to go for a sneaky little dragon play. No vision from the red team. Baron isn't up, so they couldn't consider going for that, just because of how dominant this blue team has been. Gonna pick up that free kill on the dragon. Red team might have had some suspicion that was going on, but certainly couldn't contest it, even if they did. Bard's actually quite the man, looking for some 1v3 plays. Relatively confident that they're not going to be able to do anything. Lux, not currently standing in vision, as long as they don't know where she is. The opportunity for a binding plus a E to just come over a wall and one-shot someone, it is pretty scary, so Bard can get away with some sort of risky plays. Lux going to miss that. Might have actually been able to finish off the Ornn with the ult had those both landed, but red team's going to have to play a little defensive. The 2 second-tier towers. Kayle's actually super overextended. I don't know what you're doing here. Does have the flash up, is going to spend it. That seems like a definite waste. There's no way you should be expecting to go out. Kha'Zix's going to pick up the Rift Herald in the meantime. That's quite good. Kale's going to get picked up by the Shen. Lux probably doesn't need the gold. She's got 10 kills, so spraying that around. Looking for an opportunity to engage in them. Beautiful Bard ultimate, going to shut down that Ornn ultimate. Kaz is coming in the backside, going to be able to focus down the Alistar. Potentially going for the Ornn. Teemo picks that up. Kaz finishes off the Alistar. Gangplank and Kog'Maw are routed, backing away. Yeah, blue team just is super far ahead at this point. Kog'Maw is doing some good damage. We see does have the recurve bow on his way to the Rage Blade, but is still a ways from picking that off. The Disrespect Rift Herald in front of the Kog'Maw, potentially baiting him, is going to be able to make it out. Shelly is going to charge the top tower. Kale is back up. We're going to fix the Fog of War. Does get some good damage on the tower. This is not what you want to be sieging. You're low on health. They just backed. They got full health. They got new items. What you're wanting to do is you're wanting to set up for Baron at this point. The issue is if you all back immediately, they potentially have the opportunity to rush it. Chen is getting some good damage on mid, splitting with that. Kha'Zix does a lot of damage. Is able to get the Kale ultimate out of there and then just back off. This is really an extended fight. Blue team should not be looking for it, but Lux does so much damage and Kale overextends. Does have the Gunblade and the Stinger. That's it. Not that scary at this point in time. Blue team continuing to siege. No Ocean Drake. No particular regen outside of Bard's healing. But they're so far ahead that they can sort of force their way in through this. Alistar goes in, is going to be able to get some damage on this. Ornn almost dying, would have died to that Lux ult, but Kha'Zix is probably going to be able to finish him off. Going to look for that Alistar potentially. Doesn't have ultimate up quite yet. It's going to get deleted. Blue team's looking for that inhib. That Gangplank might be enough to dissuade them. Kog'Maw still not sitting on that Rage Blade. Is going to be able to pick up the kill on Kha'Zix. Hopefully blue team is going to look to back, but no, they're actually looping back around. Looking for more kills. That's a nice little snipe on that barrel to avoid some damage from the Teemo. Sitting on a control ward. They're looking for a beautiful engage with the Bard ultimate, throwing that Shroom down, the double stun. Gangplank might be able to make it out of there, but Teemo Flash is going to finish him off. The Kog'Maw passive is not going to be able to finish the Lux. Really, now, after all that, would be the time to back, except Lux is going to be finishing off the Kale who was coming in to try and clean up. Kale not able to finish that off. The combo coming out of the bush was a big enough surprise that Kale was not able to get the Gunblade and E execute off. That might have been enough to finish Lux off had she not been fast on the barrier. But that's just more free gold for a very farmed Lux. Actually, 12-0, sitting on only a 700 gold bounty. That's the new bounty system. Most likely coming into effect. It is also relatively farmed as far as the game at least is concerned, though by professional standards you'd be behind. But with 12 kills, you're not really concerned about that. And she's applying a lot of pressure onto the map. That's one of the things we were looking for, is she snowballed in mid lane and was able to kill Gangplank many times, but she had to be able to then convert that into pressure for the team, and so far she's been doing a wonderful job with that. Kha'Zix has also been applying a lot of pressure, finding a lot of kills onto various members. Lux is playing a little aggressively here. She is very fed, but you're running into an Ornn Gangplank. If you do that much damage, you can run into whoever you want. Red team is going to potentially look to re-engage. Kog'Maw and Kale are not able to get off some good damage. Shen is just so tanky, running into 3 of them. The Bard ult's going to miss. They are looking to turn, but Kha'Zix comes in. It's going to delete the Kog'Maw. Can't quite delete the Kale because of the ult, but she's not going to be long for this world as that runs out. Kha'Zix picks up the double kill. They don't need a Baron. They're probably going to look to end here. We have 10 seconds coming up on the Gangplank. He does have ult. Might be able to dissuade them. I would probably recommend picking up the inhibitor and then backing off, getting the Baron. It's the safer option, though we know blue team likes fighting. We know Lux has a ton of damage, so it looks like they're actually just going to try and end here. At least get a Nexus tower. Kog'Maw is about to come back up. They're going to get the next tower, probably going to get pushed off. Kha'Zix is looking for the kill opportunity on Alistar. He's kind of just playing with him. He knows it doesn't matter. Alistar is going to pop the ult. It does get quite tanky. but Kha'Zix doesn't really have to use much. Lux lands a good binding onto Gangplank that should be disengage. This is almost certainly over for Red Team. The one potential opportunity that they have is if they can either win a fight now, while Blue Team health bars are relatively low, Lux is pretty low on mana, then they could potentially get the Baron. Alternatively, if Blue Team all backs at an inopportune time, they could potentially rush it, though they're really lacking damage. Kog'Maw does not even have the Rage Blade. It's 25 minutes in. Lux picks up a free kill onto Kayle. That's going to be a 40-second death timer. Beautiful's taunt with the Shen. This is super easy. Lux picking up the double kill. Bard's going to find himself a nice little kill onto his support counterpart in the Alistar. They're just going for the inhibs at this point. It's all over. It doesn't really matter. Teemo has his Rage Blade. He's just auto-attacking away that little tower, getting the inhibitor. Kog'Maw is getting some good poke in, but he just doesn't have the damage. They're just able to zone them completely with the Bard versus the Kog'Maw and the Gangplank. Nothing they can do about it. Looking to dive the Found. Kha'Zix is actually going to pick that up. They're going to mess around a little bit. Teemo's getting a little bit of damage, but the minions are over time going to be able to pick this up. Kayle's looking to make a play happen. They are trying to punish them for this BM, and indeed it looks as though Blue Team will be forced to back. We'd expect this just to be a momentary setback, and in fact Shen is even going to be able to pick up the kill onto Gangplank. Kayle is going to pick up the 700 gold bounty on Lux, which is quite big. Kayle is basically the only way back into this game, really. Kog'Maw also has Rage Blade. That could help. If the two of them can attack for long enough, then they do a fair amount of damage, but Lux with the ability to one-shot either of them if Kayle's not fast enough on the ult, and the fact that Shen is quite tanky and sitting on a fair amount of gold, so he will be getting even tankier relatively soon. The gold disparity is massive. This should be relatively easy. Blue Team can sort of do whatever they want. If they want to go for Dragon, they can. If they want to go for Barons, they can. Surrender vote failing for Blue Team. A little bit more BM. Bard looking to make solo plays still. Knows that the team is far enough ahead. It doesn't really matter. He's sitting on a Luden's Echo, Rapid Fire Cannon, and Sheen. So he actually does a huge amount of damage to a lot of the targets. You know, when the enemy support has more damage items than your AD carry, you're in a very bad situation. Kha'Zix is looking for solo kill opportunities. Might be able to find something in the Alistar. Alistar does have the ult if he wants to pop that to help stay alive. Lux is going to land the binding, but it's a beautifully timed ultimate to actually cleanse that and get out of there. He will not have the ultimate in the next fight, however, and so will be significantly squishier. Also, having to burn the locket there means that Kog'Maw will have a much harder time staying alive. Especially through some of the Lux poke that might be looking to come out. That's a nice binding onto the Gangplank. Doesn't manage to finish him off, but the Kha'Zix comes in to do that. That's an exhaust onto the Bard. That's how much damage he does. Beautiful Bard ultimate onto the Orange, stopping that ult again, and the Kog'Maw. Shen's going for the Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw's trying to do damage, but he gets taunted up. He gets binded for most of his health. Teemo's there doing a ton of work. Kayle is going to try and stay alive with the ultimate. Going to have to run back to the fountain. The Nexus is exposed. 5 members up to 2. This game has been over for a while. It's looking as though it will finally end. They do surrender, and quite the unorthodox team comp coming out of Blue Team, but I liked how they played it. Lux and Kha'Zix making a lot of plays around the map, and Red Team, as we can see, going with a triple scaling comp, not able to slow the game down enough in the early game. There are a lot of overly aggressive plays with Kayle. Same with Gangplank getting solo killed by the Lux. Bot lane actually doing alright, but when all your lanes are failing and you have an orange jungle, the game, as we can see, tends to snowball out of hand. So that's a loss for this little practice game.